Here we go. We are about to record.
We are about to record. Everyone, we're about to record. Calm down.
Everyone quiet on set, man.
Scott, back up. Yeah. You're in the light.
He's our producer. Actually, his name is Matt.
Our boy Matt.
Matt Burdock. Cheers, brother.
Hey.
I have not seen you
Salud.
Since like a week ago.
Omar and I have been secretly meeting and not telling any of you.
That's right.
But that's what life's all about.
You know, we were fake friends on this podcast.
Right. But now, after all these years of faking it, it's kind of like it's happening.
Yeah, it blossomed into like a real friendship.
Like I almost love this guy, you know? We're not going to get crazy. I said almost.
One day you were like, let's do lunch. And I'm like, are you sure?
Yes.
Because we're just podcast friends.
I know, but there's going to be food involved. So who does not like food?
You know, that's a problem. But yeah, let's not even get into it.
No, I'm going to say something.
Okay.
If you go around saying, I only eat to survive, I don't survive to eat, then the heck with you.
Do you have friends that are not foodies?
Yes. Very few.
Because you cut them off.
That is a very, very high list check mark that you have to have. If you're funny, in.
Yeah.
If you're realistic and honest, in. If you're not a foodie,
yeah. I mean, then it's like you meet up for coffee or drinks.
Not even.
No?
Not even. No.
Man, they're not even drinkies.
No, like you can't do anything with them. And at worst, if they're not foodies, but they're alcoholics. Like, let's go get a beer. I'm like, nah, I'd rather get some place to eat. Like,
yeah, let's get some wings,
They'd rather go to a bar and talk where they don't have food.
Yeah, it's also tough if one member of the group is vegan.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, come on. Well, it seems like more restaurants there's more choices, let's just say. There's like
they're
vegan,
caving in.
Yeah,
they're caving in.
There's little leaves on the menu,
yes.
and it's good to cut back on your meat anyway. So,
who said that?
Let me ask you this: would you eat cauliflower buffalo wings?
So let me take a step back. In my mature age of the fine wine that I am, I have a thing where during the week, 9 out of 10 times, Monday through Thursday, I will eat vegetarian, vegan, or something that's like non-dairy, gluten-free.
Got it.
I eat my best healthy meals Monday through Thursday.
Just building up to the weekend. Where you could just go nuts.
Right. And then Friday, I'm having a pizza with 17 slices of coffee on it, you know.
17 slices of coffee.
You know, that's how I get down.
Yeah.
But you know what? So that was a change brought onto me, which I've accepted, and it makes me feel better when I'm having my 15th habit burger on Saturday.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, guys, welcome to the Moe and O photo show.
I'm Moe Morales.
I'm Omar Gonzalez, and this is a podcast between two fake friends
that just met last week.
That's right. We did not go to grammar school together.
Mm-mm.
And we mostly talk photography on this channel, but usually we throw in stupid stuff like food and vegans. I'm just
Can
kidding.
I throw a couple of vegans around? No, that's not nice.
No.
I kid. I love them.
We love vegans.
You know why I love? You know why I love them? I respect them. They have the discipline to do that.
No.
Unless, of course, they have no choice. They'll die if they stray from the vegan. But if you're a voluntary vegan,
well, I mean, being
mental strength is
I would
awesome.
say being vegetarian to me makes more sense than being vegan because if someone's like, now we're back on the food thing, but anyway, if someone's like, hey, you have to choose one, and I'm like, all right, I'll pick the healthier one. It's vegan, right? They tell you it's vegan,
right?
And then they were like, no pizza. I'm like, screw you, man.
Yeah, screw you. No eggs in the morning. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and no cake, things that have eggs in them.
Yes. And then, of course, a true vegan was like, we can make it without that. No, you can't.
Yeah, I know.
Your substitution is good for, you know, if that's all you will commit to and that's what you have to have, that's what it's good for. It's not good for super extra deliciousness, which is what the rest of the meat and fat that the animal world provides.
Yeah, totally. Okay, sorry, vegans out there.
Oh man,
this should be the title of the podcast. We hate vegans.
I was just talking to an old friend of mine a couple of days ago, and he lost a lot of weight. And I said, hey, have you been working out? My barber.
Yeah,
my barber. I have a steady barber, the bald gentleman by the name of Tito, and I have a backup barber named Dre. And Dre is a young gentleman.
Why would you need the backup barber?
Because Tito works only till like 2. He owns the place.
And
so
if there's an emergency,
right,
beard emergency.
He opens the place at 6 and he leaves at 2. And then sometimes I'm at work, I can't get there. So I found Dre and he works for Tito. So it's awesome.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Dre has lost a lot of weight. You ever see those people that you look at and you don't realize they're big until they actually lose weight? And you're like, oh yeah, he was pretty big, huh?
Usually I say, you look weird. Go back to the old way.
Go have a sandwich. But yeah, so he went completely vegan and he's lost like 47 pounds in like 4 months.
Wow.
And no working out or anything.
But is he happy?
You know what? He'll say he's happy.
Exactly.
I mean, what else are you going to say?
Vegans are not happy. New title. New title. Good.
Newsflash, now we lost 4 friends.
All right, so for this episode, we have a couple of topics we're going to talk about. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about camera reviews that are useful. We are also going to talk a little bit about, the technology and maybe how it will end up in cameras and phones, and will pro photographers be a thing of the past? So that's kind of what we'll be discussing in this episode. So let's start with camera reviews because they're very popular. If you are searching for a camera, if you want to buy a camera, the first place you usually go is YouTube to see either a general video, like which camera should I buy or what's good for travel. And then you start to dive deeper on the actual cameras. And we wanted to maybe discuss like what's useful and maybe not what's not useful as a review. So Mo, what do you look for when you are maybe thinking about purchasing a camera? Let's start with camera maybe.
So the very first thing I want to know about any camera, especially those that are being introduced, like, the secret, I just got this camera from Sony or from Canon, no one knows anything about it yet. Tell me how many megapixels it has, okay?
No, wait, I thought you were going to say, is the video sponsored?
Well, let me take a step back since you brought that up.
Yeah, because you sparked that in me, and I thought that's where you were going.
Here's the thing. Anytime there's a super secret video of a camera that just came out, it's being reviewed 2 weeks before it's released, 7 months before it's released, I always question the reviewer. And not because I question his integrity, but I question, does he want to preserve his relationship with that camera company while at the same time being honest with us? Or does he want to preserve his relationship with that camera company with diluting what he doesn't like?
It's a little weird thing, and I think we see it a lot because we subscribe to a lot of the camera channels. Mm-hmm. The day that a camera is released, the videos are allowed to be released. So we see it because we see, hey, it's the new Nikon Z7 9er. And we see everyone's reviews come out at once.
Right.
A normal consumer doesn't know that these people got cameras early. And by the way, most of the people that get the cameras early, what you said, a lot of them we know are like Gordon Lang, for example, is trustworthy.
Right.
But some of the smaller channels might feel pressure.
Right. I think that's what it is because in my wormhole that I shoved myself into, so is it really a wormhole if you force yourself into it?
No.
So into my Moe hole. Oh my, we've gone too far.
Yeah.
So into my little world that I create the day I'm looking for something,
which is every day,
right? That's the whole thing. Like I know the big YouTuber is going to tell me this, that, and the other, and then I'm also going to check out little Johnny Smith and see what he has to say because honestly, sometimes little Johnny Smith is going to tell you something that the other guys have been reviewing so long they may have skipped a step mentally because they're so used to reviewing stuff.
That's a great point. I recently, when I was looking for the Fujifilm X70, the little pocketable camera, I stumbled upon a guy's video. He had 99 subscribers, or maybe like 125.
This guy's giggling at that. How disrespectful.
He had 99.
I have like 400 something. That makes me 4 times less loser.
Yes, you are 4 times less loser. My point is, his review was better than the old. Obviously, the camera was old. The official reviews were very dry, technical, and useful. But his was about like the art that he was getting from it. Yeah. And exactly what you just said. Like, he doesn't know how to do a camera review.
Right. He hasn't been spoiled by what's needed. He's telling you what he feels.
Yes. And how many reviewers, like, sometimes you see it in a real world review or something where the camera, for those of us, it's a very technical thing. It's a device you're buying, but it's also an art and how it makes you feel.
Right.
So I think sometimes those reviews, give you a little smile or something if someone's like, this camera is super great.
That's on my list here. Show me and tell me your feelings. So what do you get out of that piece of equipment?
Yeah. I should probably look at my list.
Yeah. So for instance, if I go see Gerald Undone, right? He rarely tells you how he feels about it. He always is very clinical, very to the point. He tells you stuff that you didn't know you needed to know because he's so thorough.
Absolutely.
He's one of the best technical reviewers in the game, but rarely does he ever say,
I'm so happy.
While I was using it, it brought me joy, and you know what, even if it's not 100% the sharpest lens in the book in the draw, I'm going to use this one because the way it makes me feel. But you'll get that from someone smaller.
Yeah. Well, I will battle you. I will counterpoint, and like someone like Peter McKinnon, for example, is not good at reviews because he's kind of like, they're just cameras.
He's just there to sell coffee. Don't play with me. No. I'm kidding.
Yeah, now we're gonna get hate. Oh God,
I'm kidding. I love Peter. He's exciting.
No, but he's a perfect example of where the Canon sends him a camera, and he's kind of like, okay. Here, I'm just gonna film something epic. Like, it doesn't matter which Canon it is from like 10 years ago or like the brand new one.
Right.
And he has to make a video to get views, but he doesn't really review it so great.
He doesn't break it down. No, he doesn't break it down. He doesn't even tell you what it's good at. It doesn't tell you what it's bad at.
No, he's like, let's go on a jet ski.
He just shows you what he can do with it.
Yeah, and that's cool.
You appreciate that in its own realm.
I have that on my list. You ready? I would love a review that has many photo examples. Have you been on a camera review where you're sort of all of a sudden you wait and then you're starting to scrub to see some photos?
I've done reviews like that.
Yes,
I have.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what it is? I was learning B-roll still.
I love Moe's B-roll. You're talking and all of a sudden.
If you guys ever want to see a talking head review. Go find my A7C review.
Oh man,
I did.
It's a lot of work.
You know what? You know what it is? I had already sold the camera and I had nothing.
Oh gosh,
to
I could have
show.
sent you some B-roll. I told Mo, he did one review and I was like, could you please show us the buttons? He's explaining what a button, like its position. I'm like, just show the damn button.
It's 4 inches up and 7 inches to the right, 1/4.67, and there it is. Then you push it halfway down and you're set.
The white paint on the numbers is a little off-white, not 100% white. Okay, so I put photo examples, and here's an interesting thing. If you search certain, I don't know if you've noticed, YouTube videos, on the play head, it shows you the most replayed areas of a video. Have you seen this?
No.
So maybe only on desktop. Maybe if you are always on your phone, you won't see it. But on the desktop, you can see spikes for the most replayed parts of a video. And it's actually helping me make my videos. Like, what are people going back to see? Usually it's like someone in a bikini or something.
I'm not coming over in a bikini.
It's like the fatal attraction pause. Anyway, it turns out that what people are replaying is photo samples. So they scrub past all the specs and they're looking for the pictures the person took, and you could see the spikes in the video are photo examples.
And that's what I've personally begun to do.
Oh yeah, you look for.
It's like, all right, this is a nice camera, but what am I going to get out of it? And then I also have to take into consideration two things. What is the level of photographer that I consider this reviewer?
That's a good point.
And two, where do I fall compared to him?
And then you get photo examples that are like, whoa.
Right, because some people just give you photo examples that are just, this is what it looks like me taking a picture of this plant.
Yeah, the plant.
Someone else will give you a picture of me taking a photo of this woman falling off a building, held on by a string of bikinis, and then next you know what I'm saying? Like they'll go all out and give you what you can, like, so a photo I would never take because it's just that elaborate.
Yeah.
Or you can just give me a picture of a plant. Was there something in between?
Yeah.
So
no, I know. So like Christopher Frost, for example, I love his reviews if you're going to buy a lens because they do the same thing every time. He takes a macro picture of his little clock.
Right.
He's not showing you each week or each lens, like a different macro shot.
No.
You can, so there's
a level of consistency and you know what to expect and you know how to translate it.
Yeah. So a good reviewer, if you're looking, is maybe look at their other videos and see, are they a consistent reviewer? I'm not, by the way. Camera review, I find that boring to do. So God bless those guys that test everything.
Right.
Because I kind of want to just shoot pictures and see what they look like.
And there's a market for that guy, Chris Foss, obviously, right? And then there's a market I want to become part of, which is this is what I shot with it.
Yeah.
Do with it as you will.
Yeah, do as you will. I was going to ask you this. Do you think it's important that the photo examples be like JPEG, raw, straight out of camera? What's most useful?
I think if it doesn't matter as long as they're clear on what they're showing me. Don't show me JPEG shots and just keep rolling without telling me these are JPEG shots. Only because I want to know the flexibility of that file.
Oh, okay.
You know what? So I love when someone takes a raw image and then does the what they've edited it to.
Yeah.
I like that as well, but I could live with just JPEGs if you tell me, oh, here is a JPEG straight out.
Yeah, and then you know, wow, the raw is going to be very malleable.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we have to take into consideration. Who is looking at this review?
Yeah.
Does that matter? So we're talking about what we want.
When you make a review, who are you making it for?
I'm making it for whoever wants to watch. Please watch. Please click and subscribe. Like me. Be my friend.
Oh, come on.
No, seriously.
When I make a review...
No, honestly...
Who's in your head?
Let me... So to understand my YouTube world is, one, obviously, I don't put out a video every week.
No,
I put out a video whenever it hits my soul to do a video. And I think to me... I think the reason why such a low watch but high interaction is because I'm talking to people specifically who I know are going to watch the video. So I'm a small market guy, and I'm not looking for the views. I'm not making any money off of YouTube. So I'm just looking, hey, I want to talk about this, and if you're one of the people who want to listen, here we are.
Wow.
So that's where I'm at because, I'm lucky that, I have a great job that I don't need to worry about.
Yeah, same. I got some great advice from Gerald. You just mentioned Gerald Undone before. He just did a video where he was looking at his old videos, and one of the things he said...
Don't spoil it. I'm going to watch that one.
All right. I'm not spoiling anything,
okay,
but
good.
It was good. You should watch it.
I did
because there was no script. You know how Gerald Undone speaks really fast and is reading off a teleprompter? He was just talking like a normal guy. And what he said was he realized that when he makes a video that at first he thought he was talking to like the subscribers that come back every week, the people you just mentioned. And I think it's true when you're a smaller channel, you get that little crew, kind of like the Moe and O photo show. We have our little crew that follows us. I think we're talking to them now.
Right.
Right. But as you get bigger, YouTube sort of pushes out your video to someone that they think will be interested in it. So he started to realize that people were kind of commenting about, wasn't your hair long in the last video? So like YouTube pushed out a video of his that was old.
Right.
And then they watched it. And then they put something out that he was newer. He got, oh, you got a haircut? And so he realized there is no continuity. Like it's not episodic.
Right.
And that helped me because in videos, I'm like, you guys saw in the last video that I was walking around. And
but that's only for your peoples.
I know.
Right.
So I started to realize that maybe I shouldn't talk to the peoples anymore. That when I'm about to do a camera review, I got to think these are fresh eyes because I think 70% of the people that watch, if a video does well, it's like 70% new people.
Right. And that's because they want to see about that camera, and it's been forced over to them because they started their wormhole.
Yeah.
And then that's how they got into the process. But to me, I'm at that point. And there's other YouTubers at the same level that they don't need to worry about that. And we can still talk to our boys like Enrique and stuff like that. And Rick and stuff. So we could just keep moving that way. But eventually I would like to become where I could just snob them and, no, I'm kidding.
That would be awesome.
Pay me, YouTube. That thing. That's the whole thing.
I'm going to just add one more thing about the whole review, camera review channels. Just know that two things. Number one, that there are different levels. So clinical, repeatable, very useful. They show you the specs. There's definitely a place for that. but also what we said. Try to find camera reviews where it's a small channel. It's maybe the only camera they've used, so they're unbiased. They could tell you what they like and don't like because a camera company didn't send it to them.
Right.
And try to see the other one, the people who are the artists and not really good camera reviewers, but they are great photographers.
Right. Like I just got this brand new A744, and look what I did with it.
What's it called? A7V1.
Watch me pour some coffee over my photos.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. And okay, cool. All right, so that's our first topic. How'd we do there?
I think we liked that one.
That was fun.
That was a good one. Give me
All right. All right, we're done. Let's go.
All right.
Let's introduce our next topic. Our next topic is going to be kind of a little bit about phones, phone cameras, and maybe a look into the future and what we think maybe we're headed both with phones and camera. I was about to say camera phones and the possibilities that maybe we want to see in a camera. So let's start with the first one.
So your thinking is what is the professional photographer of thing coming to an end? Is that,
will it ever be something that is less useful than it is now and less useful than it was in the film days?
Will its role deteriorate or become extinct?
We're just going to keep titling it and not talk about it. Yes. Will the photographer that is a professional be gone?
Unless he wears one sock.
What's going to happen with pro photographers? One more. Give me one more title.
Does the pro photographer need to update his resume?
Get a job, pro photographer. Get a real job. Okay, so sorry, that was stupid. So when I wrote down pro photographer for this topic, I wrote down, okay, I think what we're talking about is maybe when phone and automated technologies get better to exceed what a pro can do, right? So I wrote down a couple of genres and maybe we could discuss yes, no, maybe. Okay, headshot photography.
Yes.
You need a new headshot. The pro is gone?
Yes. It can be replaced.
I agree.
That
might be the first one.
In a pinch, using an iPhone 8 or 10, took my company's general manager's headshot.
Awesome. Yeah, but you know what you're doing.
Right.
And I think the phone needs to get to a place where it knows lighting or can do you think it would be cool if it showed you move into the light? You know how like your phone sometimes tells you to like re-establish your GPS. Right. If you try to take a stupid headshot in the dark, it won't do it.
Like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to take this picture? Go stand over there.
So if the camera is smart enough to be the pro photographer, I think headshots will be the first one to go.
Right. Well, because I could see that right off the bat because I've done that one.
How many people don't really care? They just want to look good, right?
Right. Just don't make me look fat.
Yeah, that's it. That should be like the tagline of a headshot.
I won't make you look fat. Dun, dun, dun.
So think about it. And I feel bad because headshot photography is important because what you do is you get the real essence out of the person. I think that's what the phone maybe would have to get better at. Is it the twinkle?
I think you just touched on it. Because my CEO, general manager, was the kind of guy that came onto the floor, talked to the people all the time. I kind of had a sense for him. I kind of figured how I can make him look as powerful as possible, but as reachable,
approachable
as possible. And I think that's what worked with the phone and knowing him.
Yeah, and you are working the scene kind of as a headshot photographer, and you probably were getting like reactions out of him, and you want that authentic smile. So the phone as a headshot app, I guess it's the headshot app.
He was more comfortable with me pointing the phone. The next time I saw him with my camera, he's like, oh, you know.
Well, actually, that's true. But again, it's not. Oh, maybe I was about to say it's not. I was thinking that the person would take their own headshot. You're thinking that a photographer would. I'm sorry, someone who needs a headshot would hand the phone to someone.
Right. Anybody. Right.
Yeah.
You get a good selfie nowadays. It's a good headshot. You know, if you have the right background, the right, one of these little lights in front of you.
No, you're not thinking future. You're not thinking 2030.
Oh, so like out of the phone comes the light?
Yeah. The light comes out, right? Or it creates it artificially, like it gives you a catch light, and then it cuts you out and puts you in a background that's bokeh-licious or like...
That's that
it puts
AI
a suit on you.
We were talking about,
Puts a beautiful dress on you. What do you think?
I don't wear dresses anymore.
Well, maybe
after the incident. I don't wear them anymore.
Maybe like emojis. You can cycle through outfits.
Yes.
Come on. Don't
you can be
see?
the brats of, corporate world.
Yeah, hair. We can even have hair. So think about it.
I wish I had hair. Oh, my goodness.
All right. So we have both agreed that headshot photographers will become extinct.
Pack your bags now, gentlemen.
And ladies, come on.
Mr. Hurley's going to come get us.
Yeah. All right, next one. A professional landscape photographer. I mean, come on, they're not really pro anyway.
Right,
No, just kidding. Professional landscape photographers shoot for campaigns, outdoor magazines. They shoot for calendars, their own prints.
I think as long as you need to carry a tripod, they're going to be around. They're going to have a need for them.
Come on, they don't think the phone has like mega stabilization?
No, because then you have to be a drone that's been programmed to do it.
But we're talking future. I mean, the year's 2032.
Yeah, like drone 1475. Go get shot of Sector 44. Make it look beautiful. That's what's going to happen?
Yes. All right, so a landscape, I think kind of people already take good landscape photos with their phone.
Right, they do.
And
by accident, but yeah.
By accident, totally. The light, they're just there at sunset. But that's a good question. That's one of the biggest issues with the rookie photographers. They don't go at the right time of day. So if you you need to rely on a photographer brain to see lighting.
Do you?
You don't think you think the phone...
Counterpoint.
Okay, go.
With the world of TikTok influencers teaching everyone the behind the scenes of how to get the greatest shot ever.
Okay.
How long before our society just automatically is embedded with that kind of information?
Inbreaded.
Inbreaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say embedded. Inbreaded sounded funnier.
We put a little breading on them.
Yeah,
They're
a little salsa, a little panko.
Grill them up.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh. Cannibalism.
We've gone too far.
Okay. All right. I could take that. But I think for someone besides TikTok, I think the phone needs to be smart enough to say, the light isn't that good here. Would you want to see some options? Right. And then maybe you can flick and the scene, because the phone has a database of that scene.
Isn't there a phone or a camera that does that?
Hold on. You're at the Grand Canyon. So many pictures of the
Banco.
The Grand
Banco.
So many pictures of the Grand Canyon have been taken that the phone will know the award winners, and it will be programmed into the phone. So when you put it up, it'll be like, your photo sucks. Flick the app to see, replace it, and you could replace the Grand Canyon.
Right. It'll say like, this is what you're trying to do. Why don't you try this instead?
Yeah. I think that would work.
I think there's something like that now. There was either an app, a camera, or something that was developed.
Are you thinking of the iPhone like portrait light, the different lightings? No. Because those look terrible. Are they supposed to work better than I'm doing it?
There was either a camera or something that was developed the last 3 years that would optimize the scene by seeing what you're shooting and then showing you other people shoot and modifying your colors.
Oh, wow.
So it would change it to like a Mornice, what's her name?
Monaris?
A Monaris tone, because they know that looks better.
Wow. See, that's cool. That's super AI.
And someone that's already been started. I can't remember where, because I reviewed and watched too many phones over the years.
That's so smart. Because think about it. If someone is traveling and they take a picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa that's been shot so many times, and it's the middle of the day, then even if they have different filters they could put on their photo, if someone's not artistic, they're either going to pick a junky filter or, you know what I mean? So if the phone knows, hey, these are the award-winning Pisa photos.
Yeah. Maybe we see more of the tower and less of you, sir.
Yes. Your finger is in the shot, idiot.
Sir.
All right, cool. So that's landscape. Here's a good one. You ready? Family photographer. Kids session in the park.
It can be done.
Ooh.
Yes, it can be done.
All right, closer.
Because it could be done because the phone camera will take 18 pictures in 4 seconds or less, like a half a second, take 18 photos and then stitch together one where everyone's looking in the right direction, everyone's smiling in the right direction.
Oh, counterpoint.
Go.
Counterpoint. Okay. A family photographer's best asset. Yeah, I said asset.
It's a family show.
Is playing with the kids, making the kids not camera aware. And definitely phone awareness is something that's a problem with parents saying, smile, smile, cheese. How are you going to get a good family photo if you don't have a photographer that's being a goofball?
Well, I think we just hit too close to home here, and that's all about there. You're just trying to sprinkle some preservation on yourself.
Yes, but, hey, I don't want to go extinct, man.
But I think honestly, if someone says, "Hey, sir, passerby," hold my phone and take a picture of us, and the phone knows that little Tommy's going to be a jerk, that it's going to take as many pictures as it has to while the guy's just holding it there, pre-shutter and post-shutter, until it gets a shot where Tommy's looking normal.
And the phone is smart enough to play sounds like Thomas the Train or something to distract Tommy.
Even have a little swirling light on it.
Yes.
Oh, light.
The phone will even know that there's a family in front.
Right.
Based on genetical sort of...
Oh, no, you've gone too far now. Everyone bleed into my camera.
We've done that's not your baby.
First of all. Oh, man.
Okay, cool. All right, so that was family photography. So I could see both. I like your computational like Photoshop head merge, something that I'm doing anyway. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then here's one that's definitely extinct. I'm sorry, guys. Real estate photography.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think the realtors themselves, if their phones were, I think you can already take great.
Yeah, I think there's a box that you just put in the room and it just spins around and does
a 360 cam. So if like one of these, like this regular Pixel 6a here, thank you Pixel, Team Pixel, if it becomes the expensive 3D cam, like if you put it down and walk out of the room, it can do real estate photography with an app. I think wide camera 3D.
Put it on. The only thing you would need is a tripod and then pano it. And then once
I think what you said, people are not going to get tripods. Oh, maybe like tabletop phone. No.
Well, you need to put something up to hold the phone, either a human or a tripod.
No. And it's 2032. It's got little legs. It walks.
It's like that's the end of society. The Terminator comes right
little
next.
Little walking phones everywhere.
Hi, I'm the 221,000. I'm here to take your picture.
All right, next one. I have two more. I'll leave the craziest one for last. But the next one is like food photography products. I think if they're
the safest.
They're the safest. You think they're the safest?
I think they're the safest.
Food photography?
Until
everyone's taking photos of
Well,
food.
you know what? Maybe by 2032, you might be right because there'll be enough in the algorithm to let its system know, no, bad angle, no, bad light, no, bad. Take a bite of that sandwich first. It'll look more more appeasing.
It'll know bad food.
Yes.
The phone will be like, no, this is terrible.
Take it back to the chef.
Yes, exactly. This is poisoned. Okay, that's weird that you thought that. I thought that because everyone takes pictures of food and the phone knows what food is, it would be the first to go.
You know why I think that? I think too many bad photo pictures are out there. That's my problem.
Oh, so the computer can't even compute good food.
By 2032, though, the algorithm might be updated. But right now,
there's too many dark restaurant photos.
Dark restaurant photos with bad color balance.
So bad. It's
the
like
worst
yellow
thing you could
food.
Do, yes.
The food was delicious. Well, your picture isn't.
No. See, that's the first thing. Like, honestly, the only time I post a bad white balance photo is like if this is the only shot I can get and I can't do any better, even with correcting inside the
You just
camera.
brought up a good point. That's the number one photography that people are doing with their phones is sharing bad photos of their food, that the lighting on these things is not very good.
No.
You saw that, like, what is it, the Nothing phone? Mm-hmm. Right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
it's like the Nothing
there is a
phone.
Nothing phone.
Yeah, there's a phone that has it has like lit up LEDs on the back, which to me makes sense as a bigger light source to shoot food instead of the tiny little dot flash, you know?
So ring flash possibility.
That's one thing you can't really change is the physics of light. Like a big light source is a soft, beautiful one. The camera has to become smart enough to move people or move food, you know?
Or color in its own light.
Yeah, which is going to be super computational.
Right.
It takes the yellow, gross, dark picture, and it's like.
Yeah. I mean, because it's not that far. They have good white balance for some of these phones. Some of these phones can really white balance really well, but at the same time, these people don't help the phone because light is the most essential thing, right? They put the phone in the most darkest corner of the restaurant.
Yeah.
They throw on that white bright flash,
and they don't angle over. They angle strange
right into it.
Yeah.
Look, it's as close as possible. It's macro.
Well, the phone already tells you move back.
Yeah,
move back to get in
Unless
focus.
it's an iPhone, then it's like, okay, we'll go into macro mode then.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, and the last one is events, weddings, and parties.
That will be the last to go.
That'll be the last to go. I agree.
Because of the need to be in certain spots, the need to get Grandma Allison over at that shot. You're not going to make her walk over to the phone, right?
Yeah, and I don't think the phone would be smart enough to anticipate moments unless it's recording video, and then the phone can maybe take photos from like what it knows is a great laugh, like peak emotion. Mm-hmm. But you're right. You need someone to coordinate and move around.
Right. I wrote that down. Let me see what I wrote down.
I'm going to have to check that you wrote it down. Exactly. I don't believe you.
Collaboration, culling, editing, getting people together.
Culling. That's a great one because if someone or the phone overshoots a moment, I have this theory. If you take 4 pictures, right, and you deliver all 4 and they're same-ish, the entire set together ruins the moment. Mm-hmm. If you grab the one of the peak laugh, that becomes an art piece of grandma laughing.
Right.
And so the phone needs to know because of time, like timestamps and stuff, and it has to understand human emotion. It has to pick the right photo.
Right. So here, listen to me. Come here.
Get closer. Come. Please. We're zooming in now. And Mo.
Because you're watching this, I automatically know that you have some type of photo inkling in your mindset, okay? Never let your client pick the photo they want to post, all right? So if you only give them the best one of the group, that's the one they're going to post.
They have to.
If you give them 5 of the same exact picture, they're going to pick the one where Susan is in the back blinking, but she looks great. So always don't deliver repeat photos is what I'm trying to say.
Can I give you a story? Because of COVID, I wasn't able to cover the reception for a client because I was already booked, but I shot everything else for them, right? Mm-hmm. So we're working together now to make an album with my photos and someone else's. And one of the issues is the second photographer that they had was a professional. They delivered everything from the roll. So instead of 600 to 900 that I deliver for a huge event, they delivered 2,700 photos. And it's every photo. And not only that, a lot of the photos are underexposed. Sometimes the flash went off too much.
Were they not edited, or were they at least edited?
It seemed like some of them were edited, and then the person must have been like, there's too many photos here. I can't do this.
Yes, I give up. Let the other guy do it.
Not only that, they delivered it because it was a 2-camera shoot. They didn't sync the times. So something will be happening here. You move to the next moment, then the moment comes back from the second shooter.
Wow, that's bad.
Really bad.
That's bad.
So talk about your phone wouldn't be able to call and edit, and
that's very important. That's why a professional of some type in all these erased jobs, you're still going to need a professional at the end of the day.
Yeah, and
it's like they'll become like a wedding planner, but they'll be the photo planner.
Exactly. Let's say that the camera is super smart enough to do anything. You need a photo planner to get people together, to know when the moments are happening. What you said, the position to be in. Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll be smart enough to light the scene well enough. That would be cool if...
It works with the Westcotts?
Yeah. So the Godocs be like, my phone works with Westcott. That's so funny. So that brings us to our last little topic is, we're talking about computational photography. We're talking about HDR, fake bokeh, autofocus in these camera phones. And, regular cameras could benefit from some of the stuff that phone camera has. What do you think could end up in there that would be useful?
Well, I think they're coming along that way, but I think honestly, like that pre-shutter, post-shutter capture.
Yeah,
Like
the live photo that iPhone does, where if someone blinked, you can go back a few seconds.
Right, so it'll give you a series of photos.
From one, yeah.
Right, so if you're reviewing it on the back of the camera, it looks like a live photo. But when you get to your actual computer to edit, it's 18 photos.
I love it.
And then,
no, I actually would love it to be a mini movie that you can scrub through, because that's one of the issues is like so many photos would.
Well, what if it gives you the option of both outputs?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So you get the option of all my live photos should be a movie that I will
scrub through,
or give me the photos.
I love that. I could use that so much, because to capture peak emotion, I'm usually shooting high burst, which is my annoyance of 7 photos. But it'd be cool if it was like one moment, right? And then later,
one moment.
And wouldn't it be cool if the computer knew what was like?
Omar, photo number 17 is the best one.
17.9er.
Take it.
No, I mean I took it, or I just mean the computer's smart enough
Select
to pick
it.
Yes, and edit it.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, what's next? Oh, you know which one I like? So one of the problems when I'm traveling is I love shooting my Fujifilm cameras. I take a photo, but like if it's a high sort of dynamic scene where the windows are so bright.
Why'd you bring the Fuji then? Oh, sizzle.
Hey, they have great dynamic range. Listen, man.
I only said that because I've been burned by them. But go ahead, please. So the window, everything, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take that photo, right? And I take 2 photos. One for the exposure of the window to sort of marry them later, or at least have a backup. But if you just pick up your Pixel or even your iPhone, it does an HDR that
amazingly.
So cameras do have HDR in there, but you have to like turn it on. You have to hold the camera still. Mm-hmm. You know, I think for the regular user that has their phone takes better pictures than the camera does.
For a very quick snapshot, I would rather pick up a phone than my camera.
Yeah.
If I want to be creative, I want a camera.
Yeah, because for someone who doesn't know, the camera lifts the shadows in contrasty scenes and brings down the highlights. It evens out the exposure, and a camera doesn't do that.
Right, and same thing with the video outputs of these cameras.
Totally.
Like I did a video for when I went birding in the swamp, and I shot at 4K 30. And I didn't have to worry about an ND filter or
with the phone.
Right.
Totally.
It knew what to do.
By the way, the video I did on the beach, the one where I have the Ferris wheel behind me and I'm like talking, that was from my iPhone.
Boo.
And it has the fake bokeh at 4.5 because you told me 4.5 works pretty good, and it did. And if you look at that now, you could probably see where like it messed up a little. But if someone's watching, you don't even know. You're
watching on your phone. You're not going to
notice. Yeah.
Buy me a Coke.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think HDR is something that cameras would benefit from. And same as Mo said, where it's computational and it picks the right moment, I think it should be able, like f-stop is kind of an annoying thing that you wish you had more bokeh, less bokeh. You take a picture of 3 people, the kid who's closest to your camera is blurry, and you're like, damn.
He's done. Listen, go home, kid.
Yo, I told you to stand with your noses together.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, I peeked there.
Oh, my goodness.
So I think something where you can...
So a replaceable aperture on the
fly.
Either
that or one of these things that already occurs with certain cameras, which is it can do like a raw pixel shift, where it can kind of stack a bunch of
17 photos quickly mentally, and then you get to pick where you want to put the focus.
So instead of these stupid cameras coming out with 40 frames a second for sports only, they should take that technology and put it into certain things like portraiture, where it goes 40 frames of like nose to ears, and then you can kind of pick the app.
Right, but I think for event photography, that'd be hard because you're going to be going through thousands of photos in about a night.
No, but they would be considered one photo that you can change later.
So you're saying in a 140 megapixel file?
Yeah, it's 40 frames a second.
Megabyte file, sorry.
Yeah. But it's a 40 frames a second, but it's condensed into one picture that can be manipulated later.
Right, once you get to the software editing, it says, all right, you touch here, that focus switches over to there.
Totally. You know, like the 360 cameras, like that has its own software where you could be like, you can pick different angles.
Right,
You can mess. So
it's tough to edit those though. But there's a catch to that. You know,
it is.
That's the price to pay.
It doesn't seem like photo has a thing like that where you can kind of, you know, pick things later.
Camera phones can do it. So why can't cameras do it?
Yeah. I think that's something that should be in there. Okay, cool. What do you got?
Well, I don't have much. I have stuff that why we still can't trust the camera phone to become full-fledged. So to me, there's certain things that we need to do. First of all, we need to have people trust them 100%. So if I go to a wedding and hey, I'm your photographer for the day you paid $18 billion for.
Yeah.
Here's my iPhone 13 Pro.
Well, it's the year 2040.
Here's my IT 44 Blue.
No, it's my iPhone 99er.
They don't even call them iPhones anymore.
You're right.
It's the Wii phone. Politically correct. So you need to have first. You have to develop a trust that that whoever is your client or using it as opposed to a professional can trust it with their work.
Yeah, you also need every guest at the wedding to leave their phones at home because they'll probably take other better pictures than you.
Right. Also, will they have the ability to not zoom, but swap out lenses? Like, you know how they have those what do they call where you just click and then get the next show, the next picture.
That toy that
with that thing. So you need to have like a lens system like that. You can go from a 50 to an 85 to to a 35 by switching something inside the camera
without having to pinch zoom kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think you need to have something like that in it before you could turn your life over to it. Because you don't want zoom, you want a prime look sometimes.
That's a great point. The prime look. One of the issues with a phone is it looks too television-y, over sharpened.
Right.
And so I think bigger lenses and the physics of a lens needs to somehow be faked where it looks filmic and good.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the closest that they gotten with that was with the S9, Samsung S9. They had a variable aperture where it went from 2.8 to 1.7 and then back and forth. So,
and also what you zoomed, I don't know which friggin' thing it was. You zoomed on a baseball game we were watching, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was the S22 Ultra.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was able to hear what he was thinking.
And you did the moon. Oh yeah, totally. And you did the moon.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think if I had it on a tripod, it would have been better than the 200-600 shot I got.
Ooh, them's fighting words. I think the future is already here, people.
Oh my God, we're living in the past.
All right, guys. So that was our episode for today. We actually wrote down notes and we're prepared for this one.
We're not going to ever do that again. Please don't get used to it.
The next one will be random thoughts.
But let us know in your head, what do you think is the future for certain photography? Are we wrong?
Are we wrong? Will you become extinct?
We'll be all extinct by the time that comes around. But that's not the point. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, like, subscribe, and tell us how awesome we are.
Awesome. I'll tell you how awesome you are, buddy.
We are awesome.
We're real friends.
We are friends.
Real friends.
Real friends.
Real friends.
Every day.
Real friends.
Real friends.
Real friends. All right, that's it.